Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today is my Spook-a-thon 2018 TBR, and I am so excited. And you might be asking yourself, okay Peter, you do all these TBRs, for readathons. What is different about this one? Well, this year, I am a co-host of Spook-a-thon, and I'm so excited about it. All my dreams have come true. So if you want to see my Spook-a-thon announcement video, it is listed below, or I don't know, somewhere below. So you can go check it out. I'll probably put it at the end of this video, so you can go find out all about Spook-a-thon. It is a week-long readathon where we read thrillers and scary books, and I'm going to go in here in a second and tell you all the challenges and which book I picked for that. And I'm really excited about it. I'm doing it with Kayla at Books and Lala and Shannon at Book Early. They were so nice to ask me to join them this year, and I'm so excited. It starts next Sunday, and I have my, are you ready? I have my TBR completely planned out. And I went in and I wanted to try to find books, some that were shorter than others, some that were like longer than others, and a mix between like young adult and adult, because I wanted to have a full mix of everything. I always do one audiobook for all of my readathons, so I'm going to tell you which that one, I'm going to tell you which one that one is, not a witch, but there is a witch in this one. I'm going to tell you which book that is that I'm reading. I've lost my mind. I'm going to tell you which book I'm listening to on Audible here in just a second. And it's actually the first book. It's the thriller that I'm going to do. Thriller! Okay, so anyway, I went in here and I very carefully picked each book because I didn't want to be overwhelmed, and I also wanted to be able to try to actually, for once in my life, oh, I'm losing books. I wanted to actually try to complete my TBR this year, so I'm very excited about it. The Spook-a-thon starts October the 15th. That is next Sunday. And yeah, you're gonna, I think it's actually next Monday. What is today? Today is, I don't know, so it doesn't really matter, but it's the 15th. 12 a.m. on the 15th, Spook-a-thon starts. So you better get ready. Do you have your TBR ready? You don't? Well, what are you doing with your life? Anyway, okay. So let's get right into this. The Spook-a-thon challenges, number one is to read a thriller, because the whole Spook-a-thon readathon is all around this whole idea of people that like to read thrillers, you know, and people that like to read scary, spooky books. So for this one, I wanted to read a book. I really wanted to read a thriller that like I literally could not put down, right? And if you watch my videos a lot, you know that I love books like, in the last year I've read The Woman in the Window, which is one of the best thrillers I've ever read. If you're looking for a great thriller for this, that's one. Bird Box by Josh Malerman is great. Behind Her Eyes by, oh, I can't think of her name, Sarah something. But there are so many great thrillers out there right now, and I wanted to find one that I absolutely could not put down. So I actually asked Kayla, I said, do you have a recommendation? And she sent me a picture of all her 4.5 out of 5 thrillers that she's read. And she said, but for you, I would recommend The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay and Amy Landon. I guess she's the narrator on the Audible book. So let me read it to you. Sounds very scary. Now, I have to tell you what's interesting about this is I went to the bookstore to go try to find the book to buy. I'm also going to be listening to this one on Audible. This is the one I will be listening to on Audible. But I also wanted to have a physical copy of the book. And I was looking at bookstores. I couldn't find it. And I kept on looking at the cover of the book. And I was like, I think I have this at home, and I think I actually got it in Spooky Crate, is that what it's called? Yeah, or Page Habit, which no longer exists, but I think I got it in one of those, and I have it around here somewhere. I just was looking for it, and I can't find it anywhere. The Bram Stoker award-winning author of A Head Full of Ghosts adds an inventive twist to the home invasion horror story in a heart-palpitating novel of psychological suspense that recalls Stephen King's Misery, Ruth Ware's In a Dark Wood, and Jack Ketchum's cult hit The Girl Next Door. 7-year-old Wynn and her parents, Eric and Andrew, are vacationing at a remote cabin on a quiet New Hampshire lake. Their closest neighbors are more than 2 miles in either direction along a rutted road. One afternoon, as Wynn catches grasshoppers in the front yard, a stranger unexpectedly appears in the driveway. Leonard is the largest man Wynn has ever seen, but he is young, friendly, and he wins her over almost instantly. Leonard and Wynn talk and play until Leonard abruptly apologizes and tells Wynn, none of what's going to happen is your fault. Very scary. 3 more strangers then arrive at the cabin carrying unidentifiable menacing objects. As Wynn sprints inside to warn her parents, Leonard calls out, "Your dads won't want to let us in, Wynn, but they have to. We need your help to save the world." Thus begins an unbearably tense, gripping tale of paranoia, sacrifice, apocalypse, and survival that escalates to a shattering conclusion, one in which the fate of a loving family and quite possibly all of humanity are entwined. The Cabin at the End of the World is a masterpiece of terror and suspense from the fantastically fertile imagination of Paul Tremblay. So excited about it. Oh my God! So that's the Audible version that I'm going to be listening to, or Audible book that I'm going to be listening to. It actually says right here, length 9 hours and 25 minutes, and this is on Goodreads, so I don't know why they have it listed as an Audible book. Was that maybe an Audible original? I don't know. Do I already have it on Audible? I don't know. I didn't even check. Maybe that's where I saw it. Okay. So let's get into... I know. I'm nuts. Okay, let's get into the next one. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is to read a book with purple on the cover. Now, if you want to read the group reads, Toil and Trouble, 15 Tales of Women in Witchcraft, for the purple on the cover, you can do that because it matches both challenges. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read this, and I'm probably going to read like 1 or 2 stories a day. Well, I guess I have to read 3 stories a day, don't I? So 3 stories a day in here, and I'm going to try to do the group reads along with my other books that I'm reading. But I wanted to try, I mean, I was so excited about picking out a TBR, I didn't want to just pick the book that was the group reads as well, right? So you have to challenge yourself. 6 books. Life is a challenge. Okay. So, the second challenge, read a book with purple on the cover, I actually picked, and I just got this at Half Price Books like a week ago. I showed it in my book blog that I did, and that is Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, who is the best-selling author of The Bear and the Nightingale. When 11-year-old Ollie, and this is like a middle grade book, when 11-year-old Ollie finds a disheveled, weeping woman by the river threatening to throw a book into the water, she doesn't think, she just acts, plucking the book from the woman's hands and running away with it. As Ollie begins to read, she finds herself entranced by a creepy tale, Small Spaces. Set on a farm hundreds of years earlier, it's about a girl, the 2 boys who loved her, and a peculiar deal struck with the smiling man, a sinister specter who grants your most tightly held wish, but only for the ultimate price. Ollie is still reading the next day on a school trip to a local farm with a haunting history. There, Ollie discovers not only that the farm is run by the woman whose book she stole, but also the graves of the very people she'd been reading about. More alarming is what happens on the way home. The school bus breaks down, forcing Ollie's teacher to return to the farm for help, leaving his students alone with the oddest bus driver Ollie has ever met. The driver warns Ollie's class that someone or something will soon come for them. It's at this moment Ollie receives a chilling message on her digital wristwatch, which had been broken for months. The watch suddenly spells out, "Run." As night descends and scarecrows in the surrounding field seem to crowd close, watching them, Ollie thinks the watch might be right. Joined by only 2 of her classmates, Ollie takes to the woods with one last word of advice from the bus driver ringing in her ears. Avoid large places at night. Keep to small. And with that, a deliciously creepy and spine-tingling adventure begins. I'm really excited about this. So, yeah. And once I read this, I'm going to pass this on to my nephews. Okay. So those are the... First, well, I don't have the thriller because it's an Audible version. Those are the first 2 books right here with the group read. The next one is 3, to read a book not set in the current time period. Okay, I had really a hard time with this one, and I wanted to pick something that was like shorter but very interesting, because a lot of books that are scary that are set in a different time period are very long. And so I got on Goodreads and I was looking at like all of the books that are set in a different time period, and this can be something futuristic, this can be something from, you know, years ago or whatever. And I picked, because I love her short story, The Lottery, I picked Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. I think this is a movie. I've never seen the movie, and I've never read the book. So, it's rather short, too. It is, let's see, it's 182 pages, and it was cheap. I got it at Half Price Books. 4 seekers have arrived at the rambling old pile known as Hill House. Dr. Montague, an occult scholar looking for solid advice of psychic phenomenon. Theodora, his lovely and lighthearted assistant. Luke, the adventurous future inheritor of the estate. And Eleanor, a friendless, fragile young woman with a dark past. As they begin to cope with chilling, even horrifying occurrences beyond their control or understanding, they cannot possibly know what lies ahead. For Hill House is gathering its powers, and soon it will choose one of them to make its own. Have you guys read Shirley Jackson? I mean, I think like in high school and college, I had to read a lot of her short stories, and the Lottery to me today is still like one of the scariest. I know like when you've read it, have you read The Lottery, the short story? If you haven't read The Lottery, the short story, you should read it. It's fantastic. It's not really like creepy as a story, but like the implications are creepy, and I just think she's such a fantastic author, so I'm really excited about reading that. I mean, obviously she's a fantastic author. She's being read in college classes, so there you go. Okay, then the next book challenge is to read a book with a spooky word in the title. Now, this has been on my TBR for I was gonna say months, but probably a year now. I read these books when I was a little kid. I read the first 3. There are 7 in the series, so I need to really just like get in and start reading these. And that is Witch's Sister by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. And I don't remember them very, very well. I don't really remember them at all, honestly. I remember a little bit of them. The books are like 100 and some pages, 154 pages, and I want to start getting into the series and just get them done. So I thought this was a perfect time for me to do that. I think witches are scary, so Lynn and her best friend, Mouse, are positive their neighbor, Mrs. Tuggle, is a witch, and they suspect the old woman is forcing Lynn's sister, Judith, to join her coven of witches. But Lynn and Mouse can't prove anything, and their parents don't believe them. The girls are desperate to expose Mrs. Tuggle's evil nature, especially since her actions are becoming more threatening every day. Now Lynn's parents have announced that they're going away for the weekend, leaving Judith and Mrs. Tuggle in charge. Can the girls outsmart Mrs. Tuggle and save Lynn's family? Or is the dark magic too strong to conquer? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. I'm so excited. Okay. And then the next one I'm really, really excited about, and that challenge is to read a book with pictures. And like I said in my announcement, this could be anything. This could be a children's book, this could be manga, this could be a graphic novel, this could be a book that just like Goosebumps, that just actually has pictures in it. It could be whatever you want it to be. I wanted to read a graphic novel because I'm really trying to get more into reading graphic novels. And a friend of mine recommended this to me a while ago, and just as a graphic novel that he thought I would really enjoy, and I never got it. I actually had to order this on Amazon, and it came in 2 days. I was so excited. And I've kind of been waiting for this so I could do my TBR. But anyway, you guys want to know what it is? I got Clue, and it's based off the Clue, the board game, and it says get a clue on the back here. But it's not just with all of the people that you know. Solve the world's favorite murder mystery in this graphic novel adaptation of the classic whodunit board game. When the mysterious Mr. Body turns up dead at his own dinner party, everyone's a suspect. Miss Scarlet, Colonel Mustard, Mrs. Peacock, Professor Plum, all the familiar faces from the famous board game are back. Plus some new ones like Dr. Orchard, Detective Ochre, and Senator White. But will Body's body be the last to fall, or is it just the beginning? And I am so excited about this. USA Today said a modern and diverse take on the classic murder mystery board game. And I thought this would be really fun to read for the Spook-a-thon, readathon. And it's not very, very long. I keep on saying very, very. It's not very long, so I'm excited about it. And yeah, and this has kind of been on my TBR or want to read for a long time now. So the fact that I have an excuse to read it is really, really cool. It's very, very cool. So here are my books that I'm reading for my Spook-a-thon TBR. Let me know if you guys are doing the Spook-a-thon in the comment section below, and let me know what you're reading. And if you have any recommendations for thrillers, I would love to hear that as well. I love you guys, and happy spooky reading. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.